Speaking of that, we loved reading your column yesterday about Tim Tebow and why all the vitriol. And I'm going to sit back because I want you to try to explain, because we've had Keyshawn Johnson on here and Booger McFarland, and everyone's seen the comments from others, including some that have worked with Tebow in the past. So can you make it simple for all of us why this is such a big story, considering he still hasn't even signed yet with the Jaguars?
Yeah, I don't know. You know, Tebow is just one of these guys. He's just a lightning rod, for good or bad. It's just what he is at this point. And both he elicits extremely strong emotions, both as fans and then people who want to criticize him. Nothing's happened yet. He hasn't agreed to a deal. They haven't offered him one, as far as I understand. And then even if they do, you know, we're talking about one of 90 camp invites for a 1-in-15 football team. You know, he's not getting a 5-year, $150 million guaranteed spot, and he'll start all 16 games at quarterback for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers next year, forcing Tom Brady to retire. I mean, this is just a camp invite, basically. It just would be structured as a 1-year deal, but that doesn't mean anything. And you know, why, you know, the Jacksonville tight ends caught 2 touchdowns last year. Name them, you know, dare anyone to name them, like, who cares? But because it's Tebow and just this mere possibility, becomes this big sensation, both fans that want to see what he does, and then I think reasonable, you know, people who may not like Tebow, which is fine. You're not a Gator fan, or you think he's too hyped or whatever. There's reasonable things, but then there's just this vitriol about, you know, he doesn't deserve the chance, or he represents this, or this is outrageous. And that's the part that's always confused me about him to a degree, and confused me about a lot of athletes sometimes, is what do you have against Tebow? He's not a guy that has, you know, gotten in tons of controversies. He's not a guy out there beating the drum for himself. There's not a lot of negatives to him. He's a guy that wants to try to make the NFL, and if he gets the opportunity, he's going to give it a shot. You know, why the opposition to someone who's willing to do that? Yeah, he might get a chance, but he also has to make the team. It's probably a remote one, but he also has a chance to completely fail and embarrass himself. I mean, you know, we could easily have video of him getting blown up in games or dropping passes or not looking good, and he's willing to risk that because he wants to try to make football the same way he wanted to try to make minor league baseball. I just don't see any of the harm here that creates some of the reaction to Tebow. I just, you know, it's beyond him. So maybe you're mad about something else, but I don't know why Tebow deserves this stuff.
Dan Wetzel with us. Dan, I'm going to throw a few of the opinions out there and see if you can maybe put them into perspective. The one that we've heard a lot, he is taking, this is from former NFL players who are now ESPN analysts, he is taking a spot from someone else, meaning, I don't know who exactly, but because I don't think it's all that hard to get a tryout, do you? But can you respond to that? What does that mean when we hear that from very intelligent former pro football players?
I mean, yeah, one less player will get a chance, but we're talking about nearly 3,000 guys have a chance to go to camp, and over the course of the year, the NFL is constantly looking for people. I mean, there are rookie mini camps that are even more players. Workouts almost every single week during the season I mean, if you can play, you're going to get in the league. This is not an exclusive thing. There's tons of opportunity. Very few of the guys that come in at the 90th invite or whatever number he would be, the last couple invites, really even stand a chance or make it very long. I mean, it's actually true. One less player will have a camp invite to the Jacksonville Jaguars if this goes through. But we're just talking about such a small number. Again, like that, it's an oversized reaction for whatever that one guy. And why is Tim's a big, strong athlete. Maybe there's a chance here. I had in my column, I mean, there's different things. A couple of years ago, the New York Giants invited a Florida State shot putter that had never played football to their rookie mini camp, right, to see what he had. There's a famous story of the Indianapolis Colts trying to get the guy who's the world's strongest man, Thor, four-time he's an Icelandic guy. He played he was in Game of Thrones as the Mountain, to see if he would come to camp to give him a shot. Brock Lesnar, the WWE sensation, was at Minnesota Vikings camp. These things happen. Nate Boyer, great war hero, really inspirational guy who was the long snapper in Texas, but he weighs 210 pounds. He was at Seahawks camp half dozen years ago or something. So it's not that unusual to give these guys a shot, because it's like, hey, maybe we catch lightning in a bottle and this shot putter becomes a thing, or maybe this guy's just good and inspirational. So again, I just can't get outraged over one of 90 camp spots. I just don't think that carries water.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus right now.